Okay, it's been a wild Friday morning. My wife told me to go check the basement because everybody else in our street was getting water, and I thought we were good, and I stepped on the carpet. So I've got my workout, and how fitting we have the Providence women's basketball team, some members. I was asked by the coach Kendall to have some of them on, and as I always say, we can always have part two. But I have Adrian, Faith, and Lily here from Providence College University out of Otterburn, Manitoba. And yeah, thanks so much for wanting to do this. This is awesome. I'm a former alum, almost 25 years ago. So when you guys celebrated 100, I definitely felt like I was. It's been a long time, but I got to meet Lily a few days ago. I drove out to the campus there and a bit of a conversation. So um, yeah, we can just kind of start with. I, I usually just do one-on-ones, but I'm going to try to navigate this as much as possible. So I have Adrian at the top of my list here. And so, Adrian, what kind of brought you to Prov? What are you studying, and what are you passionate about as a captain of the Providence women's basketball team?
Yeah, I'd say I mainly came here for basketball, and
Mhm.
it's far away from home, but I thought it was a cool opportunity to play and Christ-centered education. Um, so yeah, just really excited to be here.
Right. And
I'm studying business
okay,
my third year,
yeah. And so,
and I'm really excited to kind of bring the intensity up and build this culture that Coach KP is building, kind of help create that. I'm really excited.
for sure. And this is correct me if I'm wrong, this is your third year.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is.
And so where do you call home again?
I'm from Alaska.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I always got to ask, are you close to Anchorage, and how did you find out about Providence?
Yeah, I'm like an hour north of Anchorage,
Okay,
so pretty close. And I heard from the coach, he found me on a recruiting site and reached out.
right on. Good, good. Then I'll come back to everybody here. But Faith, how did you, as a captain, what do you kind of find your role in as being, captain of the women's basketball team, and what are some of your interests, and how did you find out about Providence, and what are you taking?
Um, I'll just start with the finding out about Prov. I actually always saw a sign on the side of the highway that said difference maker,
Yeah.
and like drove by it probably like 100 times, and then I'm like in grade 12, and I'm like, you know what, I'm finally gonna search up what this place is. Searched
Hmm.
it up and just ended up applying, not even intending to play basketball. But as soon as I turned in my application, the old women's coach Joel reached out. We did a little Zoom meeting like this, and yeah, I got signed to play basketball. And now I'm here 3 years later. I'm studying for a bio psych major.
Hmm.
That's been interesting, I guess. And as a captain, I don't know. I think I really just want to be a good role model for all the rookies that are coming in.
Hmm.
Just really set the example for how we want to act and how we want to train and what our goals are for the year. So, doing my best to do that.
For sure, right? You see how the pendulum kind of swings, right? You enter in, and now they look to you, right? So, and Lily, you are. I found out a few days ago that you don't have as long a drive as Alaska, but what kind of brought you to Prov, and what are you studying? And as a spiritual leader, how does that play an impact on the team?
I'll start with how I came to Prague as well. The old women's coach, Joel, found me in grade 11 and kind of started picking at me then. And then I didn't sign until KP became head coach because I'd worked with him previously through summer trainings. And when he became head coach, I was like, oh, might as well play for him.
And so that's what brought me to Prague. And I'm going into my first year and I'll be studying interdisciplinary arts, which is a mouthful, but that's basically just humanities and English classes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then as a spiritual leader, um, is something new that they're bringing in this year. So I'm not like fully sound on what it is yet, but it'll just be strengthening the team spiritually and bringing the community and more of a Christ-centered um, outlook when we play and um, through doing school together.
Right on. And that, as we were talking here, somebody else joined the meeting. So, and your name is, I'm down to two, so I hate to guess.
I'm Sydney.
Sydney. Okay, so Sydney last, spiritual leader,
Yeah.
and again, I have my short notes, but I'll ask for the fourth time. But what's your story, and what brought you to Providence? Because there's lots of options always out there.
Yeah. I grew up just an hour west of here in Carmen, Manitoba,
Hmm.
and I'm just really close to my family. So I knew I didn't want to move too far, but I also wanted to go and to Bible school and just get like some Bible classes and like grow closer to God in my faith. Um, but I'm also like I really love sports. Like not just basketball, like a lot of sports. I played like all the sports I could in high school. And so I was kind of choosing between Providence and Steinbach Bible College just to grow in my faith with God. But the sports aspect here, whether I was going to be on the team or not, it just enticed me to come here. Like I could cheer for a team. It didn't really, I mean, like I'd rather play, obviously, but
Right.
originally when I applied to here and got accepted, I wasn't on the team. I had reached out to Joel, the old coach, because I'm in my third year now. Um, and he like talked to me in like a meeting when I came to preview Prov, but it wasn't super serious. So I thought, okay, maybe it won't happen because I was also only coming for a 1 year biblical certificate. So he was like kind of wanting people to stay longer. And I came from a small high school, never played club sports because I just played all the sports.
Right.
But then he ended up signing me. And it was still like you're signed, but you might be position 16 to 18 because I came from a small school. You know, he didn't know how well I could really play. But then when I came, he said I impressed him, so I'm good. I'm glad that happened. And he spent the rest of the year trying to convince me to come back. And I told him it's not going to happen. I just like I'm coming for 1 year. And then I came back for a second year, lengthened my degree to an Associate of Arts in Education. And then I was like, I'm graduating this year and everything. Like, I took like 6 classes last semester just to be able to like graduate. It was a crazy year. And then I got convinced again. And here I am for my third year. But truly, like, I think I just keep getting called back. Um, I just want to spread like faith and like just show people Jesus. So
Hmm.
as the years go on, like as a rookie, like people will like hear of you and stuff, but you can't be as much of a role model as when you keep coming back. So I think God keeps calling me back. And yeah, so now I'm here for my third year. I can be more of a role model and a spiritual captain. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, definitely. Um, we'll go back to Adrian. Some of the role models and mentors that have played a factor in your life.
I think my dad is a huge one. He coached me growing up, and he was always helping me find ways to take my game to the next level and achieve something like playing in college and all that stuff. And I think, him, basketball side, and then my family has been a huge support. They're always encouraging me to go for things like move to Canada and all this kind of stuff. So I'm very grateful for the impact they've had.
Nice. That's so good. I'm always jealous of you guys in Alaska. Around June, you guys have sunlight the whole year round. I've always wanted to experience that. We only get till about 10:30. Uh, one of these things. And Faith, and we'll go to Faith. Same question.
Um,
I've never really had, I guess, consistent role models in terms of sports. It would always just kind of be the coach of whatever team I was on.
Hmm.
And I started playing young, so around like 8 years old. So it's always changed until I got to, I'd say, high school, where I met Eric Sung. And yeah, I think ever since then, he's just become my main role model and always listening to his advice. He's always encouraging me. And we ended up following a similar path as he played at Prov on the men's basketball team for a
Right.
time.
Yeah.
So yeah, just he's always someone I can count on whenever I need help. So
Okay. Uh, Lily, how about for yourself?
I'd probably say my dad as well. He's always been someone to encourage me and want me to get better, even if he didn't play. So often he sends me like Facebook reels on different drills to do, and always like, even though he didn't play, he knows enough of the game to tell me what I need to work on in a very supportive way.
Hmm.
So definitely my dad.
It's good. That's right on. It's always good to have good relationships with parents, and if they can pass that down, that's awesome. Sydney, same question.
Yeah, for me, I'd say my older brothers. I'm the youngest sibling, so definitely my two older brothers. They played like all the sports in high school and everything. And so I watched sports from when I was like a baby, like 0 years old. My mom would be holding me in the stands watching my brothers. Just like the excitement I got from that, and I just like loved cheering them on, loved being with their team. I was the annoying little sister that would go up to their team and everything. And so I just wanted to be like them. So I started playing the same sports for the same numbers. And obviously my parents also had a major like aspect in it, and like they they like pushed me to be better and everything. But yeah, so I'd say both my brothers and my parents.
Good. I know Kendall sent me some stuff with you guys there, and I'll just look it up here. So Sydney, since we're still with you, when you were younger, you wanted to be a pro hockey player.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good.
so my name's Sydney, and Sidney Crosby is kind of famous, you know. So
Exactly.
um,
Yeah, sort of.
when I was younger, I heard of him. I was like, whoa, we have the same name. It's spelled differently, but still the same name. So I'm like, I'm gonna be a pro hockey player just because I was still a sports fanatic from when I was little. Um, I didn't end up skating very well, so hockey was not my path.
Right.
Um, and so, yeah, moved on with other sports.
And then you also say that Steph Curry, whose dad played for the Toronto Raptors, Dale Curry, is your favorite professional athlete.
Yeah. That's my older brother's favorite athlete, also favorite basketball player, and
Mhm.
I tend to copy them and watch everything they do.
Right.
Um, so yeah, and now I watch the Golden State Warriors myself often, and I just find it really entertaining to watch Steph Curry, like his talents and everything. So
For sure. Thanks for sharing. Faith, with you, your favorite professional sports team. Found that interesting.
um
Why would that be? I'm curious because it's all good.
yeah, you know what? It's not really, I don't watch it too hockey too much, but my grandpa, his favorite team was Boston, and so I was just like, you know what? That's your favorite team. It's gonna be my favorite team, and I like how they're kind of known for being aggressive on the ice.
Right.
So I like to play aggressive to a certain degree in basketball. So, and I'm just so impressed with hockey. I don't know. I find it so cool. Like you can skate so good and you can do it backwards. Like wow.
There's something to be said about that. I was my son's last hockey practice, and the parents went on the ice, and I wasn't even 46 yet, and I was like, I'm in big trouble. I can't even skate backwards, so I got to practice that, or hit the hot tub more, uh, that sort of thing. But I found this interesting too, that Your greatest sports moment in general. I like that. It wasn't Kawhi Leonard 4.3. You know,
Hmm?
it wasn't
Yeah.
the Kawhi Leonard shot of 4.3. It was just a general statement. So you just want to expand on that?
Um, I don't know. I just like winning. It's always you go into the season and you make goals, and the goal always has to do with I want to win the most games. I want to win the championship, and I think once you have that main goal, it makes it easier to work up towards. Like now,
Hmm.
I can kind of plan out the things I need to do just throughout the year,
Right.
individually and with the team to achieve that. And yeah, I mean, what else would the goal be? It definitely wouldn't be losing in the end. So
Right. You know,
yeah,
I like that. Vince Lombardi always said, "Winning's not everything; it's the only thing." And
yeah.
so, he's long past, but those words often get played on broadcast consistently. So, okay, I'm going to change a bit of course here. We had somebody else. We have somebody else that joined us. And how do you pronounce your first name? I don't want to misspeak it.
I'm Naya.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just ask you what I've asked the rest of the girls. How did you find out about Providence? And how do you find yourself as a spiritual leader with the Providence College team? I just love the direction that Providence is going.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I'd probably say I just got a DM from Joel last year. Yeah, he asked if I could come out, and next thing you know, I found myself on a plane here. So, and I like the community, so I came back. Um, Me being a spiritual leader is something new. I definitely do like to yap a lot, so expressing myself and sharing my faith, and supporting my peers and teammates around me is something that I'd be very interested in doing.
For sure. And so where is home for you? And maybe I have that here, but where is home for you?
Calgary.
Calgary. Okay. Okay. Right on. Um, and yeah, and so what are you taking at Providence?
I'm studying social science.
Social science. Okay. Right on. Yeah, that was a common theme when I was when I went there. A lot of people were covering the social sciences and that
Yeah.
sort of thing. So what do you enjoy most about Providence, other than just the basketball aspect? Uh,
Um, I'd say the small community. I'm not a big fan on big universities, so coming out here and getting along with everyone was pretty fast. So definitely the community.
it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, right? You do
Yeah.
your Slurpee runs does anyone do a Slurpee run to 7-Eleven? I just have to ask in Steinbach. Okay, good. Great.
Within the last 2 days, yesterday.
It's okay. I mean, St. Pierre's good. We'll give a shout out to St. Pierre, and Niverville's built up better than what it was 25 years ago. So you do have Smitty's and Wings, but nothing beats a 7-Eleven. I just have to ask that question. So I'll just go back to my notes here. I hate looking down a bit, but yeah. So we'll just continue here with Nava. You say that your favorite professional athlete is Angel Pierce. Just want to expand a bit on that. Am I
Angel
pronouncing that
Reese.
correctly?
Angel Reese, yeah.
Angel Reese. Angela. Yeah.
I'd say just because she's an aggressive player, I view myself like kind of like her the way I play a little bit.
Hmm,
Her defensive style is very aggressive, and that's what I
right.
look up to the
Okay.
most. Yeah.
For sure. Lily, your favorite professional athlete growing up?
Um, Recently it's become Paige Beckers. Um, I've always loved watching her play in the NCAA, and
Mhm.
then now that she's in the WNBA, it's really cool to see her move up to that next level.
Right. Who have I not? Who have I not hit with this question yet? Sorry.
Just me, I think.
So Faith, I'll ask you Yes. Who haven't I hit? Sorry.
Just me.
Just you? Okay. So I'll ask the same question there.
I think um more recently, like Paige Beckers as well, or Caitlin Clark. I'm a shooting guard, so love
Hmm.
to see the range and just the things she can do is
Right.
incredible to me.
Yeah, I mean the thing with Caitlin Clark, she's just phenomenal, right? Like uh she goes to the Indiana Fever now, and it's just, the WNBA is way more on the map than it was 20 years ago, and you can just see um the validity and credibility to women's sports in general. Would you all kind of agree on that
Yeah.
as a rule, right? So definitely, I think that, bodes in, everybody's favor. We're seeing Toronto soon to get a WNBA franchise as well. So I mean, those are all good things to be had, right? What's you guys can kind of take turns, and I know Kendall's on the side, but what do you like the most? What are some of your favorite things about Kendall?
Where's the line?
Yeah.
Can you start?
My favorite things about Kendall. I would probably say that you know, he pushes me to, keep going and builds up my confidence on offense since I'm not the strongest. It's not my strongest field. Um, he's a little shy, but you can get past it. Yeah.
Okay, Lily, yourself.
Um, he's just a really fun like coach. He he's very soft spoken and like shy, like Naya said, which is a lot different than all the other coaches I've worked with. So it's really cool to see how you don't have to be loud to make an impact.
Hmm.
And yeah, he knows what he's talking about. So I like working with him.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think just how much he cares. Like I see the work that he's putting in and the plans that he's making, and uh, I think he's accomplished a lot. So I look up to all that he's done, and I'm excited to see what he does for the program.
Um, I think I just really like so far as his want to have everyone improve. Like we'll start off practices with ball handling, and usually most coaches will separate the guards and separate post or whatever and only have some people working on it. But
Mhm.
now we get to do everyone's doing it and everyone's getting improvement in all areas. And I think it's just really different than what some coaches would do. And I think it's appreciated to all of us. And yeah, as everyone said, he's shy, I guess. So it's really nice going into his office and just all of us bugging him and forcing him to talk to us and joking around and him looking at us with kind of a blank face and still laughing anyway. But
Um, I thought it'd be easier to go last, but I think it's harder because all the answers were like
Right.
all like a lot of answers are being said. But I'd have to agree with a lot of them. But for me, like because I lived so close this summer, I would come out a lot and just like seeing the drive and all the ideas he was having and everything for the team. You can just see how much he cares and how much he like wants this. And so I'd say that, and then also just like he's a really good basketball player, so bringing his skills into the team and like translating them from how he plays to how like coaching them to us, it's really neat to see that as well.
Good, good. Where do you ladies kind of see yourselves in? I always ask this question in 5 years from now. Basketball's kind of a small piece of the pie. But do you guys have aspirations for WNBA, or how does that look? In no
Um,
particular order. We can start here again.
I'll start.
Yes.
Yeah, sadly, basketball is just a small piece. I would love to continue in any way I can, but it'll probably consist of like rec leagues and hopefully I'll be working right now, like my degree is TESOL, so teaching English speakers of
Hmm.
other languages. So but I'm also a homebody. So people who immigrate here, I'm hoping to teach them. I did like a practicum course last year, and taught through Red River College. So probably teach um people English who immigrate here, and then hopefully like coach sports on the side as well as get into like any rec leagues of basketball or other sports.
It's good.
Yeah, of course, I'd love for basketball to still be a part of my life, because it's already been such a majority of the life I've lived so far. I don't know particularly if I'll be playing or coaching or just watching or however that will be, but yeah, if not, I'll be in hopefully medical school if I get into it, and I'll be just be pursuing that to become a psychiatrist.
Nice.
I'd say I'm similar. Like basketball's been a huge part of my life, and I love the game, so I'd love to be involved in it in some way, whether that's coaching or still playing in different leagues. Um, I think I see myself graduating and working and uh, mostly, I think just focusing on following God's plan. It's a huge part of my life. So listening to Him and where He takes me is kind of where my next steps are.
I'd say for me, probably continuing my education to become a high school teacher. And I'd love to be able to continue with basketball in any way I can. And being at a high school, I'd be able to potentially coach a team, which would be nice.
Right on.
For me, I'd probably say the same thing. I've always played basketball growing up, and I would hate to, you know, let it out of my life, but at some point we got to be realistic and and you got to put your career and your education forward. Um, and I would love to coach or do something rec league wise, but yeah, I hope to see myself in policing by then.
Right.
And if not, I'll have my degree to fall back onto and do social work.
Nice. That's right. I did read that you want to become a social worker. So yeah, that is awesome. I know you've maybe touched on all of this a bit, but and I kind of used to shy away from these things, but I'll just give her no. How's the Lord played a role in your lives, your ladies' lives? And we can start here.
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes. Sorry.
I'd probably say,
Yeah.
I'd say I don't know. I've lost myself a few times growing up. Being part of the system, always being in foster care and being
Mm,
adopted, I needed something to distract my mind. And having basketball in my life was one of the greatest things God has given me, um, just so I can express myself on the court, but also, um, you know, give praise to Him whenever I play. So I would probably agree with that. Being able to use my body and use it as the gift it is that God gave me to be able to play and to be able to see His glory through the way that we're able to play on the court and um, put in work and dedication, just like on the court with my relationship with the Lord. It's really strengthened me as a person and with my relationship with basketball and Jesus Christ.
And I'd say it's a huge part of my life. And I think looking back, I see all the things that he's done for me and things I've come out of and seen happen. And I think, yeah, more recently, kind of building what I do around him and remembering that he's the focus. And that's what I look to.
good.
Uh, um, yeah, so when I was younger, it was a big part of my life. Going to church often and just doing all those things. But there was a pretty lengthy time from probably, geez, like 8 until the end of high school where he wasn't in my life or and it wasn't something I was really thinking about. So getting to come to Prov and rebuild and just strengthen that relationship over again has been nice, and I just hope to continue to do so.
Um, I grew up in a Christian home, so like I accepted Christ when I was 5, as much as I understood at that time, and so he's just been a massive part of my life, like my entire life. My parents and like my older siblings were all such great role models in that, and just putting the Lord first always. And so yeah, just like seeing the ability he's given me in basketball and just being able to use it for his glory. Uh, I went to the Passion Conference in Atlanta, Georgia in this past January, and it's a big young
Mm.
adults conference. And one of the pastors said for his glory alone, and it's just a great reminder that everything we do and anything we do is all for God. It's not for our own praise or anything like that. So I just like to thank God for everything.
Yeah. That's a great reminder, right? I know when I started out this show, I just wanted to talk to people that played a sport, and at the end of the day, it's like, no, they actually have a story, and at the end of the day, we're all human beings, right? We're all on this journey, and I just keep maybe I'm not old, but it's it's good that you have these roots, and not to get too philosophical, but it's and it's good there, and I know some people there at Prov. I've gone to know Kendall, and then there's Pierre, and then there's my old college roommate there, Scott or not roommate, but he lived across the dorm from me, Scott Masterson, and you guys are in good hands there, and it's awesome to see, and it's great. Um, who has class at 9:40? I heard some people have class, but I'm like, okay. Okay, so we're almost out of time. When's just one more question. When's your next games? This weekend? When can people see you at Prov? You guys play your games right beside where the Niverall Nighthawks play. But how's that looking? Anybody can go.
We play our first game against like a junior Westman like club team on September 26th.
Okay,
Um, but more like our league play, we're playing University of St. Boniface October 5th.
October 5th. Okay, in Niverville or in St. Boniface?
That one I think is in St. Boniface, and then later on we'll play CMU as an exhibition like a week later at Niverville.
I see. So around Thanksgiving weekend. So what a great
Yeah.
way to kick off Thanksgiving, that sort of thing. But that's good. It's awesome. Hey, I appreciate you ladies getting up early on a Friday to do this before class. I know how it was when I went there. It was like, hey, well, I'll get up 10 minutes before. So I really thank you for coming on and doing this, taking part of this. And you know what? I just I just, God bless you, ladies, in your studies and your journeys this year, and it's just awesome. It's just awesome to see that you're, working for His kingdom, and basketball is just part of that. So it's good. Right on. Well, take care and have a great day.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
you.
You
You
too.
too.
All right.